Hello. I am currently outside in the garden benching an i5 2500K. I'll show you quickly, 1 second. So we're currently benching SuperPi 1M and 32M. So we're gonna make it so you can see. There you go. So it's about 0 degrees and pretty cold, but we're running SuperPi 1M at the moment, which is great fun. We're at 5.64 gigahertz. That is correct. No, we're not. We are in a minute. There we go. Now we're at 5.6 gigahertz. We were at 5.5. I'm booting in at 5.5 and setting it to 5.6 from within Windows using the buttons on the ASRock Z170 OC formula. I'll show you the setup in a minute after I've run this. There's actually ice on my keyboard, which is pretty insane. 6.661 seconds. 3 sixes there. Whoops. Sorry about that. Shit. Need to make a screenshot. So I'm going to open CPU Z. I'll take the camera off the tripod for you in a second. So there you go. 5.6 gigahertz at 1.568 volts. It's pretty cold, as you can see, or as you can't see maybe. Wait a second, I'll just get my other phone out as a torch. Don't know whether you can see that. There's the 2500K underwater. Got my 1080 radiator here. I've got my cool box. And if you look at the temperature sensor, you'll see the screen is actually all iced up. Turn it on a second. There you go, -1 degree. The water temperature is about +1 degree Celsius. It's not quite iced over. So anyway, I'll carry on making this screenshot over here. I'm sorry about not focusing in the terrible video quality, but you're going to have to live with it because I'm pretty cold. So I'll put you back on the tripod for now. Oh dear. There we go, can you see that? There you go. So for memory, I'm running Ripjaws X at 710/725 with 1T command rate. Oh bollocks. And I need to print screen this first. Open paint, paste. So this is pretty extreme cooling, I have to say. Not many people would go to this level of dedication just to get some benchmark scores, but obviously I have. Hopefully this will get me a lot of points on Hardware Bot. hoping for about 40 points, maybe 50 in total from this session. I'm going to try running WPrime as well, I think. Just the 32. Just the 32M, not the 124M. Although actually I might try that afterwards. I'll have to see. So I always run it on one thread first, and then 4 threads afterwards. And you can't see what's going on, there you go. Every single time I have to refocus the camera, I have to take my glove off, and I lose a finger to frostbite, so I've only got 2 fingers left. Right, so it's done it on 1 thread, so I'm going to go back into here and change it to 4. See if it'll run it. I'm probably going to run it twice, if it doesn't crash. So I don't know whether you can see that, but that was 5.523, and it just got that twice. So I'm just going to try it once more. Okay, so it's getting 5.523 quite consistently. I got it 3 times in a row. So I'll screenshot that. Hopefully it's faster than my previous score. I don't know whether it is, because I can't actually remember, because I'm too cold to remember things at this point. But yeah, 5.6 gigahertz. This chip, I bought this chip off an American guy on Skype at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He was a member of OCN, and I think he was a bit drunk and maybe slightly stoned at the time. So I don't think his claims were quite right about it doing 5.7 gigahertz on under 1.6 volts is what he said. But to be fair, it isn't too far away. I mean, we're at 5.64 gigahertz right now, which isn't really too far from 5.7. But when I do try to go up to 5.7, it doesn't really tend to work. Well, it won't boot up basically above this speed that I'm at now, I don't think. Even getting it to boot at this speed was fairly difficult. I'm actually going to close it and reopen it and get rid of Explorer and run it again. 1 thread first, single thread, 4 threads next, every time. That works with most quad-core and maybe 6-core CPUs, I think. That's the only tweak I know for this benchmark. And I don't even remember if anyone told me it or not, or whether I just accidentally discovered it. But I always do it, so yeah, it's a good tweak for most quad-core chips. I don't know whether it works as well for 2 cores or what, but it works pretty good for. Oh, I got 5.521, so that's 0.002 seconds faster, and it's got it again. So I'll try again. Going to try a 4th time this time, see if it gets a different score. No, it looks like it's getting 5.521 every time. This is the fifth time running it. Oh, 5.491. Looks like it's not 3 times lucky, but 5 times lucky. That's good. So yeah, sometimes with a benchmark, if you're sort of at the top of your clock limit and you just run it over and over again, XTU, you might get a higher score just randomly. So I'll go with 5.491 seconds. That's pretty quick. I've also done a CPU-Z validation at this speed as well, so that should get me some decent points. It is a bit of a shame though, but I really wanted it to do 5.7 or maybe like 5.75, because that would be in the top like probably 5% of chips then, whereas 5.6 is more kind of average-ish. So it's still pretty high, don't get me wrong, but yeah, this isn't quite where I wanted to be. Still getting pretty decent scores though. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try 124M. So this probably will crash after a couple of minutes, but for this one I always just put 4 threads in to start with because it'd take forever to run it on one thread. So we'll just run it on 4 threads and see what score we get. Yeah, you can still see, that's good. Right, we're just going to go for it, see what happens. The best way to keep warm when you're outside in this 0-degree weather. I've got t-shirt on, hoodie on, coat over the hoodie, and I've got a hat on and both my hoods up. I've got some nice thick gloves on too. And while it's running this, because it's not very exciting watching WPrime, I'll try and show you. I don't know if you can see the reflections, but the keyboard is actually frozen. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Try and get it in the light. But the keyboard's pretty frosty. So, yeah, just chilling in the garden, like you do. Quite literally chilling. I've got this nice extension lead here coming from the house. Oh god, it's cold. I'll refocus you in again so you can see. So we're about halfway through now, so hopefully we'll get a good score. We'll have to see. I've been benching out here for, I don't know, I started about 5:15 and it's now 11:45, so nearly 6 hours. So I'm pretty damn cold. But I don't think I'm going to get any colder, which is the key thing. As long as I keep moving around and rubbing my hands together a bit, we're all good. Just turn my thermal probe off. It's very frozen. 90% of the way through, nearly there now. I think 175 seconds is my best on this so far. We got 173.691, so I'll take that. That's pretty good. Oh, it's cold. You can still see the screen, which is good. So the other thing I might try doing, which isn't for hardware but is just for lols, I'll try running a Cinebench R15 single thread. Now unfortunately the multi-thread benchmark has kind of given up on me a while ago. Well, I don't know what's happened to it, but it's not giving me any scores anymore. It just crashes the computer pretty much instantly. And to be honest, I don't have the patience to fix it at this point. So what did I last do this at? 124M, here we go. 5.5, no, it wasn't that it. 2500K, here we go. 5.6 I did it at last. This is 5.643. Oof, the ground's cold. 0.691 seconds. Save that score, because we don't want to lose these scores because they're very valuable. They get more valuable each time they go faster. What did I say I was going to do next? Oh yeah, that's it. Cinebench R15, single thread. I'm actually going to run it in real time this time. I'll see if it'll run on a single core as well. See if that helps the score at all. I won't bother closing Explorer. Ah, there you go. Instantly crashes running Cinebench R15 as usual. I'll just show you what I've got set in the BIOS. Right, you can't see that. I don't know whether you can see that now. I'll go a bit closer. So, in the BIOS, I'll focus there. You can see I'm running a 55 times 100.8. Just go down. So, running 1.565 volts, which is pretty low for this speed, and my RAM's at 1.7 volts, the VTT is at 1.15 volts, and PLL is at 1.575 volts, thanks to David for telling me to do that. Otherwise I wouldn't have even got this far. Now I'm going to try one click higher and see if this works. Put you back on the tripod. So we have managed to post. That's always good. See if we can get into Windows, that's the next challenge. Okay, so we've nearly got into Windows. And then what I have to do is, because I'm only at 5.5, I have to use the software or the buttons on the motherboard to bump me up to 5.6, otherwise I can't get there basically. So I'm gonna... oh, it's shut off again. So I'm going to wait for it to boot up. What I'm actually going to try is I'm going to lower the RAM speed, because I haven't actually tried lowering it from 2133 yet, so it's been running pretty high speed all this time really, 2152. So I'm going to try at 1833 and see if I can do like maybe 101 on the base clock. Doesn't look like it's going to post. Has a 15 on the postcode. Just try it again. 9A this time. So I don't think this is going to work. So I'll set it back to what I had it at before, and then I'll go back into Windows and see if there's any benchmarks I want to run at the same speed that I'm at now. Unless it's booted this time. No, there we go, it's saying the overclock's failed basically. Here we go. 100.8 is the maximum base clock. I think I'm going to wrap up the video here and just do a bit of lone benching, and what I'll do is I'll put some photographs of the bench rig that you can actually see better than on video outside, because obviously it's dark so I can't take pictures very well, and I'll also put some screenshots of the scores I got in as just like a crappy little slideshow at the end. So this is the very cold Lawrence signing out, and also if I die of hypothermia, someone please come and get this 2500K and take it up to 5.7 gigahertz, or kill it please, because it should do 5.7. See ya.